We are seeing the real world consequences of the overturning of Roe v. Wade and the real fear that many medical practitioners have that if they treat pregnant women in a way that contradicts what politicians want to see, the providing medical professionals could themselves have legal problems. We predicted this, we expected this, and now it is happening. Complaints that pregnant women were turned away from American emergency rooms have been spiking in the United States since the Supreme Court ruled to overturn Roe v. Wade. The Associated Press has done an investigation, obtained a number of different federal documents, and the anecdotes are, of course, terrible. One woman miscarried in the lobby restroom of a Texas emergency room as front desk staff refused to check her in. This was, by the way, one of these sort of pop-up strip mall style ERs that exist in some parts of the country. I've never actually seen this, but I'm told they exist in some parts of the country. We'll come back to that. A woman learned that her fetus had no heartbeat at a Florida hospital the day after a security guard turned her away from the facility. In North Carolina, a woman gave birth in a car after an emergency room wouldn't or couldn't offer an ultrasound, and the baby later died. And so this is really raising alarms about the state of emergency pregnancy care all around the United States, of course, in particular in the states that have enacted these strict abortion laws, or where strict abortion laws have been triggered by the overturning of Roe v. Wade, sometimes very old abortion laws, 1864, as we are seeing in the case of Arizona. And so this is a major problem. Medical professionals are confused about what am I legally able to provide in terms of care. We've talked about these horrible situations of pregnant women who are diagnosed with serious conditions, including cancer, and doctors in the ER essentially throwing their hands up and saying, listen, I don't know what's legal. What if I provide care that deals with this cancer, for example, in a pregnant woman, and it causes a miscarriage? Am I going to jail? Is a question that is being asked. And recall that all the way back in September, which would be 7 months ago, about 7 months ago, I did this story, OBGYNs fleeing red states over insane abortion laws. And this is exactly what we are seeing. Now, there's another element to this tragedy, by the way. First of all, this is not what federal law says must be done. Federal law says ERs are required to treat and stabilize patients, including those who are pregnant or in active labor, and provide a medical transfer to another hospital or facility if they don't have the staff or resources to treat them. Sarah Rosenbaum, who's a George Washington University health law and policy professor, said to the Associated Press as part of this investigation that the Associated Press was doing, that pregnant patients have, quote, become radioactive to emergency departments. This is exactly what was predicted in September. And in these states where they have these extreme abortion restrictions, quote, they are so scared of a pregnant patient that the emergency medicine staff won't even look. They just want these people gone. And then this gets us to that final note that I want to mention. The facility in Texas where this anecdote took place is what's called a freestanding emergency room. Now, most of us are familiar with ERs at hospitals, and most of us are familiar with urgent cares, which are often independent, freestanding. They sort of like, you think back to Breaking Bad and the chicken shop. It's sort of the same type of freestanding urgent care, and we understand they're only equipped to handle certain things. The urgent care knows they're only equipped to handle certain things. They will tell you go to an ER depending on what you present with. This is a different thing. This is a sort of health profit industrial complex appendage where it's like a mattress storefront or a chicken shop that is designated as an ER, but it functions sort of as a hybrid between a not great urgent care and a money generating machine, kind of like a mattress store in a strip mall. And it is another thing that is extraordinarily concerning in terms of the care that's being provided, not only to pregnant women, but to others as well. But that's a topic probably for a different day. So we expected this. Now, the real question is, will there be voting repercussions? One of the difficulties in American politics when you have federal, state, and local elected officials and centers of legislation passing laws and doing things is that it's really common that the voter identifies something that's going on, but they don't really know who to blame or praise. The prototypical example of this is Obamacare and the Medicaid expansion. Obamacare, of course, passed under Barack Obama in 2010. And one of the elements of Obamacare was if states expand Medicaid, they get federal money. They're not obligated to do it. Many red state governors, Republican governors, opted not to expand Medicaid. When 2012 came around and the potential reelection of Barack Obama, in which he was easily reelected, there were many red state voters who said, you know, they did this Obamacare thing. It was supposed to be good. And I don't have care here in Kentucky, for example. And they blamed Obama, when in reality, they should have been blaming the red state governor that didn't accept and do the Medicaid expansion for which they would have gotten all of the federal money. Do voters know that the reason that rights are being restricted medically in these red states, do they know that it's thanks to Trump being elected in 2016, selecting 3 Supreme Court justices who overturned Roe v. Wade, and now red states are either passing or activating these extreme laws? And as a result, OBGYNs and other medical practitioners are saying, I'm out. Do they know that? And if they know that, are they going to punish Republicans in November? Hopefully the answer is yes. Remains to be seen. We all must vote to encourage that to take place. It is time to start thinking like voters and to make sure that kids understand the importance of voting, how it works, registering, ballot initiatives, because so many kids just have no idea. That's why I wrote the new children's book, Think Like a Voter. I can think of no better time and no more important group of folks to try to reach. The book is now available at davidpakman.com/book, where, by the way, you can get the first 2 books in the series as well. Think Like a Detective and Think Like a Scientist. Really important stuff. Donate them to local libraries, classrooms, read them with the kids. davidpakman.com/book.